Alright, we are live with Super Mario Odyssey.
Alright. Hello, everybody. My name is King J. I ran this game last year, but we did it a little bit differently. I raced someone, and that someone is here. Would you like to say hi?
Hi, my name is Volshak. I was the racer last year as well.
And yeah, so we did any percent last year. This is gonna be slightly longer than any percent because any percent we just had to get the fastest moons, beat the game. This time we're gonna be doing a little bit more than that. We're gonna be getting 250 moons instead of 124, and we're gonna be going to the dark side and beating that as fast as possible. So we'll explain more as we go in, and this is Mario Odyssey. It's needs no introduction. It's a really popular game. So if we're ready on time, we're gonna start in three, two, one, go. All right. So Super Mario Odyssey, basic things you need to know. Shaking is the future. So I'm gonna be shaking to roll faster, shaking to do everything faster. That's like the main thing you need to know. And starting out in Cap Kingdom, there are no moons, so we'll get to like the different routes. And Darkside has actually gone throughout a huge route change in the past year or so. I used to do a few marathon runs of Darkside at different marathons last year, but since then it's gone through a lot of changes from being just one swift run through each kingdom once to actually using the post game feature and going back to previous kingdoms. So it's actually really interesting now, and I think it's really cool to show off. So, but yeah, cap is always going to be the same no matter what category you're doing. So do you want to go throughout basic movement mechanics?
Yeah, sure. So, two things that you're seeing right now. First off, Mario is rolling around at the speed of sound, and that's because moving in this game is predominantly through shake mechanics, as you said before. You roll pretty much everything. If you're in a straight line, you're literally just going to be rolling. It's just the fastest movement there is. Additionally, you're going to be using your hat a lot to do a lot of really cool tricks, such as taking control of frogs. That is the best feature of throwing your cap. Additionally, just the ability to double jump off of your cap and get to places you normally wouldn't be able to if you only had one jump.
Yeah, and you saw there that I actually hit a checkpoint. That's going to be very important for later. We're going to be hitting a lot of checkpoints in this run, and they're actually going to be important for late game. Like, that checkpoint will come back into play like 2 hours into the run, or about an hour and a half from now, so just keep that in mind. Because again, we are going to be coming back to some of these kingdoms to get moons that we couldn't get the first time around.
And as predominantly a any percent speedrunner, I have no idea about late game, so I'm going to try to pretend I know what I'm talking about.
I invited Rule in here because I didn't want to run this alone, especially a category that's long, 2 hours. So like, I needed some help with this, especially because this is compared to any percent. This is kind of like the intermediate category between any percent being the easiest to run and darker side being one of the harder ones to get into. So this is kind of like an in between sort of state, and yeah, so it definitely has a lot of route changes. I actually wrote down my entire route for everything except for any percent in this game, so I don't make sure I don't miss a moon. But yeah, so this category has us going from no moons to that was weird. Oh, that was bad. Okay, no moons to 250 moons, and that may seem like a lot, but this game has 880 moons, and we get the 250 fastest ones. So.
Also,
yeah, motion control not always the best thing. Oh, sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was just going to mention that at the start of the level, you saw him spin around. You saw King spin around and then do a ground slam, and that's pretty much the fastest way to get into the Mario roll.
Oh yeah, so that's called spin pounding. In order to spin pound, you're gonna see me do it a lot. Basically, anytime there's after a cutscene, I will be doing it, and that just gets me up to full speed. It saves like half a second each time, and those half a seconds build up throughout the course of a 2-hour run.
Mm-hmm.
And another key thing to mention is that I've been doing these things called vectoring. You saw it with the frog, and you also saw it with me throwing my hat to gain some speed. Oh, that's bad. This is Dino Jump, by the way, and I'm bad at it. There we go. Second try is always fine. But yeah, you basically use the dino to jump into the cutscene. There's a lot to explain in the first little bit, so sorry if I jump from thing to thing. But yeah, so vectoring, we did something called frog vectoring. Basically, whenever Mario is moving from like towards a 45-degree angle, he picks up speed more because of the way his physics work. And so we'll actually be using that later when we're falling, so we can fall faster and farther. And it's actually used in a very specific trick near the end of the run, called the Impossible Jump.
Now that fight was actually really fast.
Oh yeah, this is Madam Bird.
Pretty much what he was doing for the fight was backflip, like doing a lot of inputs at the same time, pretty much backflipping, throwing your hat out, making sure that you jump onto the chain jump, and then getting the hat off and throwing it again at the like apex of its charge. That way you can literally go into a charge and then not have to deal with her running around and trying to slap you out of her chain jump.
Yeah, so each boss, we didn't really talk about it for Topper, but which was the first boss we fought in Cat Kingdom.
He's not a boss.
He's a friend that we just happened to hit around a few times. Each enemy has a quick kill strat, because this game is actually very speedrun friendly, and as long as you have the willpower to do so, each boss can be taken out pretty quickly. So you're already seeing a route change here from normal any percent. We're going to be getting 6 moons here instead of the normal 5, just so you don't have to go out of the way to get this chest moon later. And yeah, that's it for Cascade. We have a little bit of a cutscene here. But yeah, there's a lot to explain at the beginning of this run, so if we like talk over each other, that's why. There's a lot of route changes later we'll be talking about, so we want to get the general movement out of the way. But yeah, so there's also another type of vectoring I didn't talk about, and that's called roll cancel vectoring. And that's extremely important. Basically, sorry, I had to split. If I jump and throw my hat at the same time while rolling on the same frame, basically, Mario gets confused and he thinks I'm jumping and throwing my hat at the same time, and lets me keep my rolling speed, but it changes my direction. So you might see me do that in long bursts to keep my momentum. And that's like the main thing you need to know about like the difference between people who don't run this game that much and people who run this game a lot is their movements and the choices they make. Just from going from moon to moon is completely different from runner to runner. And again, buffered spin towns are like the fastest way to start off each kingdom. And so whenever we have a chance, we're going to try to buffered spin town.
And now we're in Desert Kingdom. Actually, one of my favorite levels because there's just so much fun things that you can do in this level.
Yeah. So this category is often considered extended any percent for good reason, because for the most part, a lot of Darkside's routing until we get to post game is just a lot of the same moons we get in any percent, give or take a few. So you're gonna see me getting a couple. Like a bunch of the moons that we would get in any percent, but also setting up stuff for when we come back to certain kingdoms in post-game.
Also, can we take a moment to just say, Mario must really hate birds. There's so many there's so many times that we have to go and kill a bird to get a moon. I mean, it's a bit scary.
You're going to be seeing a couple of those, actually. There's going to be one in Lake Kingdom when we come back for that in the second visit. Right there, we went for employees only. We normally wouldn't go there during any percent, but again, we need some extra moons along the way to reach that coveted 250 slot. Also, again, whenever you see me ground pounding, it's usually faster to spin pound unless I'm unsure if I'm going to hit the target I'm aiming for. And like Bull was talking about, that bird, he's actually going to cycle as soon as you enter the kingdom, and he resets his cycle once you exit and re-enter the world map, like the overworld part of Sand Kingdom. So basically, when I was starting Sand Kingdom and did my spin pound right off the bat, I was on that cycle, and I had to make sure I got there. If I bonked or messed up my movement, I wouldn't have hit that bird cycle, which is bad. And I know, no dram strat, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say something, but I wanted you to acknowledge it first.
Yeah, there's a few gram strats we actually do in this run. This is not one of them because I'm not good at it.
Oh, it's so difficult.
Yeah, Sand Dram is not the best. Metro Dram's easily the easiest, and we would do that. So, all right. So yeah, Sand Kingdom for the most part is basically the same, except we get employees only, and we get 1 extra moon than normal. But yeah. Also, our coin route is very important in this run, since it's a lot of the shop moons are easy to are the easiest ones to get. We make sure that we get a good amount of them, and I think we end up getting 6. So we need 600 coins in this run. Thankfully, I'm playing on 1.3, aka the fastest version, which means that I can buy moon, or I can use these hint arts that were added into the game post-launch, and they will give me 200 coins each. So I'm going to get 1 or 2 of them, and that'll give me the coins I need. Along with big coin rooms like this one, the Sphinx Vaults, that'll just give me a lot of coins that I need. Alright, so yeah, for the most part, sand is pretty generic. Just
now
your
here's the
usual
question.
roll.
Are you going to hit
Yeah.
the checkpoint just in case for the bullet bill bit?
No, I'm not. And the reason why is
Oh.
because when you hit the checkpoint, when you open the map, after you hit a checkpoint, it'll give you a text box, and we want that text box to be in Metro Kingdom when we actually use our first warping. So what he's talking about is for Jaxy Skip, and this is coming up here. Thankfully, Jaxy Skip is not that bad if you know what you're doing, so I don't think I'll mess it up. But yeah, so basically what you're supposed to do here is, you're not supposed to do this how I'm going to do it. You're supposed to go to this whole like sub area in this icy area to get up to this Jaxy platform. But instead, it's just high enough that if we ram a bullet bill into the wall, do a wall jump, and dive over, we can get it just like that. So there we go.
I'm holding on
And
baby's
again,
breath. Hey, he did it.
That used to be my. Oh, by the way, sorry if I'm like talking about stuff before it happens. Due to the setup, we had a little bit of an issue setting up. I am a little bit of a delay ahead, so if I mention a trick before it happens, that's why. So just, you know. Oh, whoops! I accidentally hit that
He's the
cactus. That
explanation,
cactus.
I'm the reaction.
Yeah. Alright, so... I had that weird roll there. Okay, so again, right here, we're just gonna get these regular moons that are just in our way. Now,
See,
one thing
he
I should
hates
mention about
birds.
1 point...
He hates birds so much.
Oh. Well, I didn't hit the bird.
Yeah, but they were just minding their own business, and then you ground pound over them.
Okay, well... Hashtag free the birds. Send that on Twitter.
For the
Confuse
birds.
everyone. Alright, so something I need to mention about 1.3 is that with the VR update that 1.3 added in this game, along with Breath of the Wild, they also added it for that too. They also changed the load times for either when you like are closing a cutscene and opening a cutscene, or when you warp somewhere. So because of the fact that 1.3 is now faster to warp, before we used to go from the notes to the Odyssey without warping because it was slow, but now it's actually faster too by like a second.
Huh.
Just
I
keep
did
that in
not
mind.
know that.
Yeah, and that's why I, since our race back last year, I actually got a sub 110 because that saves a lot of time. Load times alone now save about like a minute in any percent. So.
Oh my god, that means I might be able to get a 113.
Oh my god! I believe in you.
The dream!
The dream is real. Alright, so Lake Kingdom is actually going to look really weird. We're going to get the same amount of moons that we normally would get in any percent, but we're going to get different moons. We're going to get this Notes moon underwater here, because this one would be out of the way during our second visit when we come back during post-game. And the cheap pillar that we normally would get is on our way to another set of moons that we do during post-game. So it's going to look weird, but trust me, it makes sense, okay? Just believe the runner, okay? It'll all make sense in about an hour. And what we're talking about post-game, basically when you beat the game, a bunch of moons open up to you. And we thought that it was actually slower to do post-game. We thought it was faster to get moons along the way. Just go to a couple sub-areas and do that. But it's actually slower. It's faster to get to post game, open the moon rocks that are in some of the fastest kingdoms, and get a couple of the really quick moons, and just warp from place to place. So you'll be seeing that. Alright, so yeah, for the most part, underwater mechanics, we want to make sure that we are using the cheap like 24/7. It's the fastest thing, and we can do a little dash with the cheap by pressing Y and B at the same time.
It's one of the few times that using the shake mechanics is actually less helpful.
Yeah, but the shake mechanics we'll actually see during Seaside. You can attack with the cheap. And that's used to spawn a few moons. Alright, so this is Rango. This is the boss where you just jump on his head.
If you know how to backflip, you're good.
Yeah,
you know
literally.
This fight.
Back with the boss. There's a few things we can do, like we can ground pound through his hitbox, which looks a little wonky, but it's intended, I promise. Don't worry, it's fine. And there we go, that's like...
Poor Rango.
Poor Rango. So all these bosses, because this is Dark Side, you will be seeing all these bosses, some of them 2 times, some of them 3 times. You will be seeing most of them 3 times, because at the end of this run, we have a boss rush at Dark Side, and we have to do that in order to beat the category. So, and it has moon physics. So Rango's gonna be harder later on, but we'll get to that later. And by later, I mean like the 2-hour mark. But yeah, there we go. We're all good here. And again, Lake will visit back again later, but for now, everything's good here.
Would this be a good time for donations?
Oh, yeah, sir. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, great. We have $13 from Wandering Mind. He says, "Hey everyone, I'm glad I'm able to catch Cal Fire this weekend. I've worked in places alongside wildfire firefighters, so I really appreciate this cause. Hope you all are having a great weekend." And we also got a $6 donation from M-Chan. It says, "Hi KingjJ, when and what will be our next big meme category? Anyway, good luck on the run. I will donate another $6 if you get Moon Escape 2D Skip first try, but we'll be deducting $1 per fail. No pressure."
Ah, no! So what he mentioned there, last year we did this race for any percent. I got a donation message daring me to do 2D Skip, which I suck at, and I died twice at the very end. I'll go for it once. I don't want to lose the run to it.
I believe in you.
I never have gotten it in a run, and I don't want to lose the run to... Like, you lose 40 seconds each time you die to it, and it saves 2 seconds if you can get it, so...
Those 2 seconds are worth it.
Gotta save the frames, man. Alright, so this is Wooded Kingdom, a fan favorite, because, well, if you have English subtitles on, I won't mention it because I got in trouble for mentioning it last time, so I'll just let you guys figure it out when you hit these moons that I'm grabbing right now.
It's just a very unfortunate
translation.
Right.
But anyhow, Wooded Kingdom actually changes a lot because we're not actually going to leave after we beat Stewart, which is the boss fight. We're actually going to be getting a couple extra moons here and there. A good handful of extras. I think we get 4 more than intended, so...
Also, we get to take control of the greatest thing, which is the Onion Man.
It's second best. The forks are just ahead of it.
You take that back. Onion Man saved lives.
The forks are just ahead of it. I'm saying they're good. They're just not that good.
Yeah, later on in this area, you can do a really cool trick with the Onion Men. It doesn't save a lot of time, but it looks pretty nice.
All right, and just for notes, I forgot to mention this. I probably should have mentioned this at the start. 2 things actually. First off, for donation reading, anytime we finish a kingdom, there's a huge cutscene from warping from kingdom to kingdom. So literally just cut me off if you have them. Like, I'm just gonna say that now. There's nothing really to talk about during these cutscenes. But then, I didn't talk about the fact that we're playing in Japanese. Every copy of this game, no matter what version you get, I've had many people be like, did you buy a copy from Japan? No. Any copy of this game can be changed. You can change the language. and Japanese saves, I think, 30 seconds this entire
Something
run.
like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, you know, you have to be a weeboo.
I personally used to play in Spanish for no reason whatsoever.
You have to watch anime in order to win. Alright. But no, it's an easy time save. So if you want, like, at first we thought simplified Chinese was actually the fastest, but no, it turns out that Japanese is the fastest. So yeah, we use Japanese, and we just memorize the text choices.
I feel like there's a bias here towards it, but whatever.
Japan making the game, Japan being fastest. I mean, for the new Link's Awakening game, German's the fastest. So I mean, it's not always Japan. Also, that was a cool trick I did there. Basically, you get enough heights from I just call them the Onion Bros. You get enough height from the Onion Bros pop up there that you can just jump out of him, like uncapture him, and hop into that high jump moon there. And this is skewered. Basically, anytime a boss gives us a chance enough to run around, we're going to be collecting all the coins we can from the boss. Again, it's a marathon. I don't want to run out of coins. We need about 1,000 coins for this run. I'm going to be safe. I'm probably going to go like 400 coins over, but I don't care. I'd rather be safe than sorry.
It's
You
pretty
got 6 tries,
unfortunate.
man. No pressure. The
It's
thing
pretty
about doing
unfortunate
6 tries on 2D Skip, I lose 40 seconds each time.
For this boss, I feel like it's like pretty unfortunate. The rest of them have some like really cool like mechanics, and this guy just like vomits. That's his thing. He's literally does nothing but throws up and calls that a move.
Bleh. Yeah, I never really thought of it that way. Anyhow. God dang, why did I ask you to do this again? No, I'm kidding. So, anyhow, this is where this is where any percent deviates from Dark Side. We're actually going to be doing a little bit extra here. We're going to be going throughout the second area now to get some quick moons here. And along with that, we're actually going to be getting our first Luigi hint art, which will give us 200 coins that we need for later. Alright, there we go. That jump right there, that triple jump myth looks easy, but it's so easy to get your jump eaten there. Alright, so this is our first Luigi hint art. Only available on 1.3, by the way. So if you're playing on 1.0, which, why would you? It's slower now. Yeah, you can't do that. Alright, now we're just going to get some quick moons on the way to going back to the Odyssey.
If I'm not mistaken, the moon that you just got in any percent, usually they found a way to do it, glitch version of it, where you don't have to use the tank.
Yeah, so basically, there was a new wooded any percent route found pretty soon after we did our race, surprisingly. And basically, there's an out-of-bounds clip that you can do called moon clipping. I'm not good enough at it to do it in a marathon, so don't worry about it, I won't do it. But I could have done it in Cascade, and I could have done it here. Basically, with the moon's hitbox, if you throw your cap at the wall in a certain position while you collect the moon, and you're in a certain animation, you have like a short period of time after you go through the whole moon get cutscene where you can actually move out of bounds. And they found a way to make it so that you get that moon in any percent now. So that's a little weird, but it's cool. But yeah, now we're going to Flooded Pipeway. We were supposed to do this in a while ago, but we didn't. But yeah, basically that skips Skewered in any percent now, but we're not doing any percent, we're doing the category that people hate, so... Yeah, surprisingly, this is actually a category that a lot of people despise, mainly because it ends with a 6-minute boss rush, probably, but... I don't know, I have a soft spot for this category. I ran it from the beginning. Alright, so that's Wooded Kingdom.
You ever wonder why they have the text, "You got a moon" in English?
Yeah, that's weird. And we didn't mention this yet. I mentioned this last year, and I'm going to mention it again this time. But whenever we get a multi-moon, when in English it would say, you got a multi-moon. But in Japanese, it says, you got a grand moon. And I hate that. It's so random.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. It has a crown. It's grand. It's kingly, or queenly, whichever one you want.
Galaxy. Alright, so now we're going to Metro Kingdom. God, I love Metro Kingdom. You know what would suck, though? Is if they, like, kind of, like, teased us and put 2 smaller kingdoms in between now and then. And
That
it's
would
gonna
never
happen.
happen.
That would never happen. Oh, hey, look, Cloud Kingdom. Let's just take a little stop here. So Bowser doesn't want us to have a good time at the kingdom that sold a lot of the copies of this game in the trailer. So he knocked us down to Cloud Kingdom to get our money's worth. And there's a strat for the Bowser fight called Capulus, which I got first try here. There's three versions of Capulus, one per hit. Basically, what I mean by Capulus is I don't throw Cappy out to retrieve the hat, and it saves like 2 seconds. So it just means that I'm close enough to him that I can just dive into the hat and dive towards him. And I don't want to hit his hat back too quickly though, because if I do, he'll take his hat back and he'll lose 7 seconds. So you have to be very careful about that.
Additionally, what he's doing here is he's not giving Bowser a chance to, in the normal fight, jump away once you get the hat. So by getting up close enough, you can pretty much get the hat, dive into him, and start punching at the same time, which makes it saves you like a good amount of time from Bowser jumping away like a jerk. But
So there's the first 2 Bowser fights. That's easily the easiest one. And you didn't jump away once. Very nice. So now we get to Lost Kingdom. I'm going to ask for a little bit of silence here. I have a trick that I like to call Meme Tree, and it sucks. There's actually Lost Kingdom, in my opinion, is probably the scariest kingdom. There's a lot of...
Oh, no, you're completely valid on that.
And it's actually different in Dark Side, so you'll see what I mean. We get a couple different moons than in any percent. Okay, not a good first Meme Tree. Alright, getting a triple jump there off that tree is actually hard. Like, it looks easy, but it's such a thin line.
And the reason we do this is because if we were to go the normal route, which is what it wants you to do, it'll trigger a cutscene that will make the vulture, I don't remember its name, let's just call it Jerkbird, which again, Mario hates birds. But this one's valid. And it'll cause a cutscene to happen where you lose Cappy, and we have to go and retrieve him. We don't want to do that, so we decided to find a new way to get around the kingdom.
All right, so I think we did enough bird hating. So here's a butterfly. There we go. So yeah, basically this is called Klepto Skip, so that we skip Klepto's cutscene of him catching Cappy. Saves like about a minute, I think, something like that. And once we beat the kingdom once, we don't ever have to do the Klepto cutscene again. I didn't make this cycle, that's a little sad. Get some coins here, and I don't think I jumped close enough to the platform. That's really not good. Am I gonna make it back? Oh shoot, I died.
Oh no.
Oh no. I think we might have to reset. Wait, never mind, we're good. It just spawned us at the top.
Oops.
So, yeah, that was a death warp. We do a couple death warps in this run, actually. Basically, whenever we hit a checkpoint, when you die, it'll respawn you at the last checkpoint you hit. So because I hit the checkpoints that I wasn't supposed to at the top, out of Klepto's point of view, I was able to just spawn at the top and respawn there because it's faster than just warping.
And we're still trying to just make sure we don't go into that area because Klepto still has a vigilant eye. And now we go and yell at him, stupid bird.
Yeah, once you go near him and scare him away, that triggers the Klepto cutscene. And unless you die again, he won't try to take Cappy. So, unless we die to this trick here at the end, which is a little scary. This dive here. Oh, I hate that jump. That's so scary.
Fun. So the jump he's talking about is right here. If you miss it, you're pretty much dead. That has caused quite a few losses of runs if you in any percent, especially in the early versions of it.
Yeah, and we want to make sure that we don't die there, because if we die, it spawns us back at the top, and that's a longer time than just coming back out from under the bridge with a cap jump to Skip having to respawn. Alright, so I didn't mention this before because it hasn't really come up to anything yet, but any unintentional death I have, for each unintentional death that I get in this run, I will be donating $5.
5 deaths, my goodness!
5 more deaths for you guys.
Well, if I died, then you go die 5 more times.
So if anybody wants to match that, I think that's a good thing to do. Again, it's any unintentional death, and there's a few intentional deaths we take, so...
And those will be clarified.
Yeah, I will say if it's intentional or not, don't worry. Okay, so coming up is a trick that I want you guys to help with. This is something I do every time I run this game, and I want a chat this big to really express their love for this game. There's this thing called 2-cycle coming up for Mecha Wiggler. And what's going to happen is this boss, if you get the 2-cycle and not the 3rd cycle, it saves 30 seconds. So what I want you to do when we come to the part, once I leave the tower interior, I want you all to spam 2-cycle, like go nuts, until I say stop. And if we get 2-cycle, go nuts. Go nuts again. Celebrate. But basically how I see this, the game won't give me a 2-cycle unless we really show the Lord of Mario Odyssey speedrunning that we want it.
And this room right here is just absolutely my favorite movement in the game. Like,
oh,
it's
really?
got some really cool, just like jumps and crazy stuff that you can do.
You mean the tower? Because I hate the tower.
Oh, I hate running it. I love watching it.
Oh, okay, okay, good, gotcha. Oh, I feel bad for you, but I love that I'm here right now.
Exactly. It's
Thanks,
unfortunate
man.
for you, beautiful for me.
Alright, so this jump right here is super scary, and I hate it. Oh, it's so Monka-esque. Alright, get your spam in now. I want to see this chat filled with 2-cycle, guys. Let's go.
So yeah, the jump you just did, if you miss that, that's like a good 45-second time loss, because you have to do everything you just did again.
I'd say more than that. I think it's like a minute, actually. Alright, so that's the first cycle. You have to do at least 1 cycle before you can kill him. So the next cycle that he gives us, which is the cycle I want to kill him on, it's all completely random which kind of variation of the cycle he's going to give me. And I have no control over that, so hopefully you guys have control over it. I see some 2-cycle in there, that's what I like to see.
2-cycle, 2-cycle.
And again, this saves 30 seconds if we get it. Over getting the 3rd cycle. Each cycle afterwards loses 30 to 20 seconds. So, RNG can be nice.
Let me get a 2-cycle.
That wasn't a good 2-cycle, but it was a 2-cycle. So, hey, thank you guys. We saved 30 seconds. Let's go. I was actually going to donate an extra, like, 20 bucks if I miss 2 cycles, so... Saving money!
Mecha Wiggler is such a stressful boss.
It is. This is like the Monka-esque moment. You can lose upwards of a minute on this boss if you get really bad luck. Because the way you saw how some of my shots didn't count, basically if you, if he, like, merges his bodies together, because he can run over himself a couple times, you can't hit that, like, intersection. So it's really hard, and he did that once for me, so I was a little afraid. So that's Nighttime Metro, definitely another scary moment. So you have Lost, and then you have Metro. It's like a very scary middle part of the run here, or like the first quarter part of the run. Alright, so now we get to relax, because Daytime Metro is just like normal any %, so I get to chill out here. I don't think that's gonna work for Dram. Hopefully?
Should be good.
Okay, good. That was still good. Yeah, so that's the Metro Dram strat that we were talking about earlier. That's the easiest Dram you can do. You just throw your hat back and hold it out. And basically how Cappy works is he will home into something once I shake my controller. So if I... Oh, come on. FC car work for me. If I hold my hat out there and go get the moon, and then shake my controller, it'll warp me back over there, and it saves like a couple seconds of me having walk there manually myself. Oh, we're getting to your favorite guy. Are you ready for this? Are you ready to say what you want to say?
Oh, right. I forgot! I completely forgot!
I was hoping you wouldn't say anything, and we would just be silent for the entire rest of the run. But yeah, we have this guy who says hot cheese.
I'm telling you, man, he's saying hot lettuce.
I don't know. I can never be so sure. I started listening for it after you told me that one time. I never heard it before. These humans speak a weird gibberish, so Some of them say some very quote-worthy things, like OTEP. Some of them say some weird things, like "Hey, ladies," or as you hear it, "hot cheese," because I don't know.
Hot lettuce, not hot cheese.
Oh, it's hot lettuce. Oh, gotcha.
Hot
Okay.
lettuce.
Hey, man, whatever you're into, you can put them both on burgers, so I mean, it's fine.
If you have hot lettuce in your burgers, I have some really tough questions for you. Mostly like morality. Like,
all right, so that jump right there, that dive, or not that dive, sorry, that roll is a little scary. So I'm glad that didn't mess up.
also, who puts a dumpster there?
This is what I call the tower of bonking, because every time I go on this tower, I lose like 5 seconds because I bonk at least once.
Oh, that's why this place is called New Bonk City, right?
Oh, you did it! I was waiting for it.
Of course.
I'm surprised you didn't do it when I bonked in Dark Metro.
There has to be a perfect time for it.
So I'm actually going to skip one of the Luigi hint arts here because, again, I'm being safe on the coins with the bosses. So I should have enough coins. I'm at 700 right now. That should be enough for the rest of the run.
Ooh, nicely done.
Oh yeah, we got the hole-in-one there. I didn't really mention it because I'm kind of used to it at this point. Not to brush my own shoulders or anything, like...
Look at Mr. Fancy Pants showing off his moves. It's not like he's in a speedrun marathon or anything.
What are we? Calfire, really? Oh, we are. Hey, look at that.
Yeah, good
I
figure.
didn't know that. Oh, good figure. Hey, everybody. What are we, performing for 100 people? Oh, we are. Oh,
Oh, is it Tuesday already?
is it a Tuesday? Oh my god, I actually had to look at my phone.
Did you really have to ask that?
Okay, so I'm at the point in my life where I'm not in school or anything like that. I'm just streaming and working 24/7, so I don't know what day it is. I just know I'm running today.
And now we get to meet Pauline, who is, okay, objectively best girl in the game, but for really being serious, come on, Daisy.
She doesn't do anything. Like, she literally just stands here.
Well, it's better than Peach, who just gets herself kidnapped.
Yeah, but Pauline did that first.
Yes, and since then she's become the mayor of New Donk City. That's a pretty big step up.
She's an independent woman who needs no man, okay? Like, it's not my fault. I don't
That's
know.
why she's
Anyhow,
best girl.
So,
Other than Daisy.
just to quickly mention, Metro, Snow, and Seaside are all literally the same as any %, aside from 1 or 2, like, small deviations, like us going for hint arts here. I'm going to be looking at a painting in Snow, so if there's any donations during these next 3 kingdoms, there's really not much to talk about except for 1 or 2 tricks, so pop in whenever. But yeah, that's Metro done, and very happy we got 2 cycle. That was a pretty good Metro overall. I don't think I messed up on anything.
Excellent work.
Thank you. I think no, I didn't gold. Wow, my gold here must be really good. And I even went for the risky jump, which I never go for. But you know, I want that flair for this run. All right, so now we're going to Snow. It doesn't matter which one you pick in this run because some people go to Seaside first in any % because they're low on coins. But since we're getting hint arts, doesn't matter for us. So. And before you ask, no, I'm not going for Snowdram.
Dang.
Alright, so this is Snow Kingdom, and Snow is literally the same as any %, so we're gonna go talk to our bro, Captain Toad. Captain Toad Moons are also, like, really quick. You'll be seeing us get a few others on the ones that we return to during post-game. This movement is always weird to do for me. Before you enter the town, it just feels so awkward.
Yeah, for the longest time I actually didn't do Captain Toad. Because I could not for the life of me figure out where the heck he was in the snowstorm.
Yeah.
I have terrible directions.
If I remember correctly, wasn't that the race where you and I, like, we did it at Calfire and I had to tell you what the faster route was?
Yep. Look,
So
I'm set in my ways. I'm an old man of 27.
So before, you young whippersnapper, you and your new routes, you and your...
Newfangled dram skips.
I don't do Dram Strat, thankfully. It's a little risky, especially in a marathon. So this new route that we're doing, before this new route was discovered, back when we did our any % race, I actually, like, I've been part of this community for a while, And I actually made the original snow route that people still sometimes use. Not really, but...
Oh no, the chat is angry at me for saying that I'm old.
Oh no, what have you done? You just angered the entire community in the span of 5 words. Congratulations.
It was worth it.
Also, this is one of the hardest cat bounces here because of what just happened. Oh my god. Okay, good.
Oh my god.
That railing has such a hard hitbox because if you wall jump at the wrong angle, you'll hit your head and get knocked down, and it's stupid.
Yeah,
and
it pretty much gives you a dead jump, and it is so unfortunate.
Yeah. Oh my god, everybody's saying their age. What is happening?
That was my plan!
Ow, I bonked. Should I donate per bonk just for the memes?
Oh man. Dude,
you know how much money that's gonna be? Maybe I shouldn't. I want money.
Just put like 50 cents per bonk.
Okay, here's the thing about me donating per bonk. I'm submitting to GDQ. If I get into GDQ, which I haven't found out about, I'll find out tomorrow. If I get into GDQ, I have to fly to Florida. So, I need money.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna stick to the deaths for donating.
So yeah, this level is pretty generic when it comes to the route. We've, if you've seen it, it's very, very, very similar to the any%. So it's a bit like, pretty much it's Captain Toad. You do the 3 story mission ones and buy a moon. It's very simple.
Yeah, and the only thing different in this route compared to any%, you saw that I looked at a painting, like a little picture on the wall. And you're probably wondering what that was. That'll come into play later. It's called Pintart Moons, and basically it's really fast moons. But in order to get to them, people have asked me this: can you just get the moons without looking at the hint art? And no, you are not allowed. Like, you can't ground pound the areas unless you have looked at the hint art for a good 500 years. So make sure that you check them. Also, these Goombas have been a little mean to me, so bye. I always do a little Steamer kill the Goombas in chat, but these guys were mean to hit me. And, we didn't talk about this, but taking damage in this run is very bad. 4 seconds to take damage. Once we take 2 months of damage for just getting knocked back. We saw that my health coming back fast, so it was 2 seconds. Oh no, none of them were about their money. I can't hear many people. That's bad.
Okay, looks like the connection's a little bit better. Try talking now.
Okay. Oh, did no one hear me that entire time?
There was a slight Discord issue there. I had to change servers. We should be good now.
Oh, okay. Alright, well, basically what I was explaining there was, those Goombas were mean to me and made me get hit. And when you get hit in this game and you take damage, you lose 4 seconds. You take 2 seconds of damage, or 2 seconds of time loss for getting knocked back, and then you lose 2 seconds when your health counts back up after you get a moon. So
you don't have to explain it. You can just say Mario's a monster. We all know it already.
I can just say I did bad.
No, Mario is like literally the epitome of a monster. He will go through anything to get that moon. He will kill people. He will kill objects. He will kill fire.
Whoa, what do you got against Mario? Calm down, man. Jeez.
Well, I mean, he hates birds. That's one thing.
Okay. Are you still on this? We have a couple birds left, dude. We have a couple birds left.
Look, I'm just trying to spread the word that Mario is a bird hater.
That Mario is a bird masochist. Alright, so this is Seaside. Seaside has some hard jumps. I'll say that. It's in my opinion, it might be one of the hardest routes in any %, and in this case in Dark Side as well. Just because that jump at the beginning was really difficult. Like, you have to be at the peak of your height. And then there's going to be a jump here where we would normally get a Gushin to enter this cave, but we're just going to do a couple series of wall jumps. The Gushin?
I didn't know that was their name.
How do you not know? You've been running this game for how long
I
now?
just called them octopus guys.
The Optim, dude. Now that's
Look,
a
I'm
name.
I'm not very good with names. Okay, but I think it's a better name than Gushin.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's Octopus Guys here, back at it again. All right.
Yeah,
And again, I do the
Octo
old.
guy.
So there was actually a new any % route change here in Seaside where they actually used an out of bounds clip, but it's called Fish Clip. But because of the fact that I don't know it, we're gonna be casual gamers today. Do the good old any %. I think this moon route has stuck for a long time, actually.
Yeah, I remember we used to go to that little area under the sea and do the 2D part, but after like a week or two of the game being out, they found this one, and it's been pretty consistent since.
I actually don't remember ever going for 2D route. Maybe I just never went for it, or maybe that was what everybody else was doing. but yeah, I've been running this game since day one, and there's like this huge community any % race in like the first 2 weeks or something like that.
I was actually going to mention that.
Yeah, I wanted to mention that because I figured that's where you were going to go with it.
Yep.
Back then, I was a top runner. I think I got second in that race or something like that.
There were 53 people. I got 52nd.
Well, man, you gotta take the wins you can take. You gotta win there.
Look, I was told that it was a blind speed run, which to me thought, oh, that means you don't play the game before doing the speed run.
Oh
no. I have become gravely errored.
So yeah, this is I mentioned this. I mentioned this at the beginning of the run, but I find this to be the second easiest to run category other than any %. Any % you can just hop in, do a run, whatever. This you kind of have to learn a little bit of. You need to learn the route, obviously, learn a little bit of post game, a few strats. But in my opinion, it's still an easier run than something like World Peace, where you have to do out of bounds clips. So.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Seaside. So now that we got all the boring and no changes from any % out of the way, we can now move to Luncheon, where the changes actually start happening again.
Luncheon.
So,
yum, yum.
Yeah, Luncheon. I don't know. I call it Luncheon. I know Luncheon is a lot of people's least favorite kingdoms, and for good reason. It has some hard strats in it, but in the speedrun, we get around having to do difficult stuff. We do have to do both the fork and the goop door for Dark Side, so I'm a little worried about the goop door, because I'm not always the best at it, but we'll see.
Luncheon is like my spirit level. It is just nothing but piles of salt.
Well, I thought you were going to say you're always hungry. I'm like, dude, same.
Nope.
Oh, so that jump right there, that backflip is extremely hard to do. Just so you know, that's like, I usually fail that at least once. I'm happy I got that first try. That's like another case where it's just like the Seaside jump where you have to be at the very peak of your jump to even get enough height. And now we just head on over to Spewart. Yes, this is the second time we're playing Spewart. We get to see this boy 3 times in this run, and he's the easiest boss.
Yeah, I gotta say, like, with every one of the encounters for each of these bosses, Spewart, Harriet, who we haven't seen yet, but each time they're supposed to be a bit more difficult, and the only real change here is it's not a circle, it's a rectangle. How that makes it more difficult, I don't know.
This has been Geometry with Full Shock. Thanks for joining us. Next, actually, fun fact, in Bowser's Kingdom, we're going to be doing some counting lessons. So, you know, join back for that. But yeah, so...
One
step from Mecha Brutal. Aha.
Two
so yeah,
steps. Sorry, go ahead. I'm done.
So yeah, for the most part, Luncheon is kind of like any %, but it also has us doing the goop door, which we don't do. Well, we used to do, but now we do fork door.
Door.
Back when any % was new, there was two like gangs of people. We had like a gang war. There was the people who thought that fork door was fastest, and people who thought that the goop door was fastest. I turned over to the side of the goop door after like a month of running with the. I turned over to the side of the fork door after running with goop door for a while. So.
Goop side for life.
Oh, are you still a goop door, buddy? Right.
No, not really. I definitely changed it over to the fork door as well. I'm a traitor, I'm sorry.
This is my favorite part of the run. I love seeing Chad go nuts here. Just like 2Cycle, I want you guys to name your favorite Gordon Ramsay quote. Because we're going to be cooking a little dish here with this golden turnip. And I started doing this thing where I let my chat say any Gordon Ramsay quote they want. So, where's the lamb sauce?
Hey, what's your favorite food? Mine's YOLOs.
YOLOs? What? I don't get the joke.
You just threw... No, explaining the joke isn't funny.
Okay. Don't explain the joke. Somebody probably got it. I'm probably just stupid. Continue.
Anyway, one of the cool things about this this area is just like the movement that you can do here. I think that there is tech that you can do, which is it saves like maybe half a second. But if you are looking directly down while you're rolling off of that top area onto this area, it will spawn the lava dude like a second slower, which means that as you're getting to the moon here, you can literally just throw your hat out and catch it.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yep.
I always thought that was random. Alright, so this is Fork Door, and I think Fork Room is literally the coolest movement in the entire game. So, yeah, enjoy.
It's cool,
really cool.
Unless you're like me and fail it every time.
Touche. Luncheon's hard, but it has so many cool tricks in it. It's really like a trick jump kingdom. So yeah. Oh, I hate this part though. Oh no, this part. Get up! Get up!
You got it!
God, okay, that sucks. Alright. Alright,
Also,
this
being a world...
sucks.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, nothing, I'm just talking to myself. This jump is kind of annoying. This is what I call mountain jump. There we go.
You know, for being a world that's all about luncheon, they have a lot of Pepto-Bismol here.
Mario must be really sick. Oh, come on, man. Okay, so I've been doing this thing called Instacapture. I never really explained it yet. I've been doing it a lot for everything that I capture, basically. So anything that has, like, a hat... Oh, I thought that hit it. These pans are RNG, by the way, where they go. It sucks. So anything that has a hat on it, you have to throw your hat at it 2 times. One to knock off their cap, and then another time to actually to capture it and take control of it. But if I do this thing called Instacapture, where I throw my hat behind the person and home into it, or behind whatever I'm capturing and then home into it, it'll actually hit him twice. Once when it goes down, and then once when it comes back to me. So it saves like 2 seconds. Again, it's like short time saves like this that differentiate the men from the boys.
Also, if you watch carefully, you'll see the spawn thing, or the next moon thing that you have to actually do spawn before you're actually starting to play. Like, it doesn't show up in the cutscene for some reason. But like that torch area that you just got, it like if you watch it in the cutscene, it's not there. It will just appear as soon as you get control of Mario.
I actually didn't know that. You're teaching me things that I never. No, I'll never be able to.
They're completely useless to an actual speedrun, but I can teach you things about this game.
Welcome to Goop Door, the place of my nightmares, and I just died. And I died in the easiest place too. Ugh. This
Goop
is like
Door is a very difficult one.
Especially, there's one really scary jump I have to go for, and you'll see it in a second after I grab this first moon. Each sub-area has 2 moons, by the way. We should have mentioned that in the beginning, but yeah. There's one secret one, and then one at the very end of the area. So that jump right there, that's... you can shake the controller to do quick dives, but they're not as high, and they're harder to control. And so I did that there off the top platform into the middle platform. It's very scary. And we damage boost there to get that moon, because it's just faster than taking that pot of dough all the way through.
Additionally, with this one, you don't have to deal with. Actually, do you still get? You don't get the Grand Moon anymore with this one.
No, we do.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, because it is also like you need more than the any percent, right? Sorry.
You,
That's where
so,
that's like my knowledge doesn't cover.
Yeah, so something people don't know that we haven't explained yet. Those little outlines of moons on the left side, that's how many moons we need in order to leave the kingdom, and most of the time we will go over that, but we can't leave the kingdom that we're in without that amount of moons in that kingdom. So there we go, that's Luncheon. And it's a very scary kingdom, but it's also the coolest looking kingdom.
Yeah. All of the levels in this game are absolutely gorgeous when it comes to like their aesthetic, and they're so different in from level to level that it's really cool to see.
Yeah.
To see them all.
Yeah, so I've been actually running Darker Side recently. I started getting into that, and I think I'm running that at a marathon soon for a really, really long-a-thon. And so I have to do more of this game.
More?
But the cool thing about Darker Side is that Luncheon Kingdom is the only kingdom that we come back to 3 times in that run. So, yeah. And oh my god, guys, it's time for Bowser's Kingdom. I love Bowser's Kingdom. You know what would suck? If they just put like a dragon Spyro boss fight in the middle of this part and us and...
they've already done that once. They wouldn't dare do that again, right?
God, it's Nintendo. It's not like they would recycle stuff like that. Oh, look, they recycled stuff like that. Okay, so this is Ruined Kingdom. The other sort of in-between kingdom of the 2 like kingdoms that everybody wanted to go to, which was Metro and Bowser's. So, yeah. They did the deking out once, and when I first played this game, I was like, they're not gonna do it again. They did it again, so... there goes that. Good job, Nintendo. Way to be original.
Innovation.
So that jump right there, we had to go get that extra moon because it's just a really quick one in that chest. But that jump to get out from under there, it's actually really hard. I made that look really easy. You can bonk there and fall off so easily.
And also, you gotta thank FromSoft because they allowed Nintendo to use one of their Dark Souls characters. And by the way, can we get a Praise the Sun right now?
I made a joke, I think, in one of my marathon runs where I was like, okay, I know I've been really addicted to Dark Souls recently, and I'm doing a marathon run, but I think I'm just gonna switch to Dark Souls. And they changed the title name to Dark Souls. I was like, you guys are the best. Okay, so what you're seeing in this boss fight, this is Spyro the Dragon anyways. So we are damage boosting on top of him so that we are able to get the hit on him faster. And in order to do so, we have to make sure that we hit him as fast as possible. And we have to make sure that we triple jump on top of him and keep our health up to 3.
Yeah, did you know that Mario can actually praise the sun in this game?
Wait, can he actually?
Yeah.
Oh wait, the triple jump, right, that's right.
Obviously.
I think we talked about this during our race last year, and even then I was dumb enough to believe you. I was like, oh my god.
You fell for my trap.
Alright, so this is our last hits, and as you can see, he gets more piercings each time that we have to get on top of him. Yes, I call them piercings, don't ask why. That was a little weird. That lost a little bit of time. And there we go. That's the Dragon Ball. It's basically an auto-scroller. You can't speed that up. It's like, you can speed it up by like maybe a second, but for the most part, you're going to get around the same time as long as you don't die.
Yeah, predominantly, if you're losing time here, it's mainly through movement, getting up to the boss. The boss itself is pretty simple.
Yeah. And right there, I used an audio cue to know when I was moving Mario again in that cutscene, so that I could grab the Grand Moon without even looking at Mario. Alright, so we're almost at the about halfway point of this run. About the 1 hour mark is going to be the halfway point.
Wait, what? I thought we were almost done. This isn't
Oh, yeah,
80%?
sorry, yeah, we're about to fight the final boss. Jeez. Totally forgot. Alright, so we talked about Dram strats earlier. There's going to be another really cool Dram strat. Some people don't do this one because it's a little risky and it's a little hard to set up. I found a really consistent setup for this one, and this is Bowser Dram, so... Hopefully I get it first try. Again, it looks really cool. It saves the most time out of all Drams too. I think this one saves like 5 seconds.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you mess this up after saying you have a consistent strat, that's on you.
Oh yeah, trust me.
Played
I've had
yourself.
consistent strats and messed up stuff before. Do you remember Moon Skip last year? That, that was
I
horrible.
haven't the faintest idea what you're talking about.
Alright, so Bowser's one, like the first time that we come to Bowser's Kingdom, actually gets changed a lot from any percent. We're going to be getting a bunch of moons compared to what we do normally. And we also have to get a bunch of checkpoints because we're going to be warping here when we come back a second time. So, alright, this is what I mean by Bowser Jam. Let's hope I get this first try. I'm going to use my setup here. There we go. That should be good. I think I got it. So I want to fall behind the moon. Ah, perfect. So you want to fall behind the moon after setting him up on that side of the wall there. And you just want to throw it right behind him at a pretty precise angle. It's not super precise, but just a little precise to make you scared. But yeah, that's like one of the coolest rams. And it's also the second easiest. I think I dived in that moon. Please don't die off of the edge. Okay, good. Again, sorry if I'm talking about stuff in the future.
He has that foresight thing.
Yeah.
It's called not a stream delay.
This is the Monado's power. I can see a world record coming. Just kidding. I'm not even close to it. And so my PB, just so people know, in case this happens to be a PB, just so you guys know what to expect for the time. A PB I got yesterday, actually, on the grind for this category while practicing. I got a 2:01:23. So not sub 2 yet, but this run is on a pretty good pace right now. Anything could happen.
Don't say anything, because that includes bad things. Only good things will happen.
Never mind. You're my conscience now. Alright, so this part right here, the bomb section, is like one of the coolest sections because it has some really cool movement.
It also proves it once again that Mario hates birds. I'm not letting this go.
I know you are. There's like 5 more birds that we're gonna be scaring away, like for moons. Wait, what? Hit the moon, please. Holy. Okay, so some of my shake inputs aren't going in, which is not good for this game. That's 99% shake inputs. Alright. There we go. So I wanted to peck that moon shard right there because oh, what? That didn't hit it? What? Okay, that should have hit that. That was weird. That's never happened before. There you go. I can say that.
Also try to avoid the obvious joke here, but you know.
I don't want to know.
It's good you don't want to know.
I don't know what
It makes you an innocent person, and that's good.
I don't know what you're gonna say, and I think I want to keep it that way. All right. I'm not a big pun fan. So, well, I like making them, but I always cringe when other people do them. So. All right. So that's this section. Again, I kind of see Bowser's Kingdom as different sections because they're split up between story moons. So it's kind of cool to see that. Also, nice little way that you can see that pipe because I got that moon quick before it was able to spawn out of the way.
It's also kind of like, this is one of the few levels where you actually have to go through the story rather than do any kind of like skips that we usually do.
Yeah, so this is the only...
Ooh.
Yeah, I took a death there. That's a little upsetting. This jump is a little difficult. And by a little, I mean it's actually a run killer for me sometimes at 90%. Dying there sucks. Each death usually takes around 10 seconds depending on where you are, so lost a little bit of time there. Alright, so right here I'm going to hit this checkpoint again. I want to hit all these checkpoints in this kingdom because we're going to be coming back here and there's a lot of warping on our second return. Alright, and these Jinzos here are going to give us 2 moons. Just by putting them in the positions that we need to. And there's one really cool strat I can do here to skip having to go through this pipe. I'm going to see if I can get it. It's a really precise ground pound jump, so I'll be popping off. Hey, got it. Nice. That's actually really hard. It looks easy, but it's not. Going through that small hole that you come through at the beginning is actually really difficult.
That was impressive. Like we just got to it on the stream.
Yeah, I like how you're kind of like the flight attendants being like, we'll be catching up to what he's talking about in about 5 seconds.
I'm not giving you your peanuts.
But I bought them. Okay, so this is Harriet. We didn't see her the first time. She was in Sand Kingdom. We skipped her. We don't have to fight her. But we get to see her this time, and she has very spiky balls that she throws at us. And I'm going to throw them back at her. Basically,
Also,
if you do a very precise, not a very precise setup, but if you do a setup where you jump to the side and then angle your hat throw so that you can knock her bomb right back at her, it skips her first phase each time you fight her. So, there we go.
Also, not sure if this is 100, like, how true this was, but from when I was playing, it always felt like if you're moving away from Harriet when she's about to throw her bombs, she'll do it faster.
Yeah,
I don't know
it is.
how valid that is.
That's why I was moving. It's usually if you move a little bit towards her or a little bit away, it's more about the distance than the direction.
And now we have Hopper, who's more stacking of hats.
Yeah, this is Topper 2, aka please hit him, and I didn't. Great. This is probably the scariest mini boss fight of the entire run. Like, and now, like, this is why, because that messes this up a lot. I have to just wait around for him. I'm actually going to grab that part there too, because if I don't, it's going to take 2 seconds to show me my health going back up. So that lost about 20 seconds. That was a bad Topper, but it's okay.
Topper is a huge jerk.
He really is.
You gotta give him credit for having that many hats and stacking them so precisely.
Topper is a run killer, both in this kingdom and when we get to Darkside. I think Topper is the hardest refight in Darkside. You'll see why. Again, that's not for another hour, but you'll see why. Alright, so now we get to the big final climb, and then we get to another big, scary part, Mecha Brutal. It's not really that scary. Nice bonk. It's not really that scary, but it's scary enough that, like, I'm not as good at it as most people are, so it's scary enough for me to warrant it. If you fall off of Mecha Brutal, you lose about 30 seconds.
So, and earlier, King was mentioning how if you are determined enough, every one of the bosses has a quick kill. This is like the hardest one of those, but it is possible. And there are like 3 or 4 different ways to set it up that I've seen, depending on how dangerous you want to live. Or
yeah,
down,
so I'm actually going to be going with the... I'm not going birdless. I'm going to go with the bird for the first hit.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go birdless for the rest. So yeah, you'll see what I mean later. But basically, if you do really precise hat bounces, you can get back on top of Mecha Brutal each time he launches you off. And you can just stay on top of him the whole time. Also, we didn't mention this, but Bowser's Kingdom, it won't matter for us because we're getting a bunch of moons, but in order to leave this kingdom, the game won't tell you this until you beat Mecha Brutal, but you need to have 2 extra moons along with every story moon you collect along the way to leave. But we've already done that, so it's not that big of a deal. Please go up. What? My shake input got dropped. No!
Uh-oh.
Please. Please! All my inputs are being dropped. Alright, that was a weird moment right there. I think my controller's kind of directed away from the Switch right now, so that's a little bit of an issue. But I survived. I didn't die, at least.
That's what's important.
Oh, also, I had an unintentional death, so that's $5.
I think I've seen 2 unintentional ones. There was that one, and then there was the one at the Goop Kingdom. Or Luncheon Kingdom.
Oh, right, so that's 2. Oh my god, this hole. So this hole with the Pokio is like literally the hardest thing because you have to fall into it at a very weird angle. And
There we go.
That took a while. Again, I think I lost a lot of time from Bowser's Kingdom in this run, so. Time lost galore. Also, this dive is a little scary. Oh, please. There we go. Diving off the edge there. Alright.
Okay. I never knew about that moon.
Wait, really?
Seriously, like...
You played this game!
Look, I played any percent. That means I know about 120 moons, and that's it.
I mean, that used to be an 90% to be completely honest.
What?
Yeah, back when we thought that was faster. Before we put in, what was the other moon? Before we put in that roof moon because it was too risky to go for. Some people couldn't do that moon. the Bowser knows one.
So now we have Mecha Brutal, who...
So, like I said, I'm doing the bird for the first one, and then the rest of them, I'm going full nude, no bird. Alright, and let's do counting with King J. On the last hit, we need, or sorry, the second last hit, we need to count to 5. So everybody get out your notebooks, we're gonna count to 5. But yeah, just staying on top of him is probably the scariest part.
Yeah.
I think in our race, we both fell down once.
Oh my god, it was so bad.
Yeah, I fell down on the 3rd one, I think you fell down on the 5th one.
Yeah, so pretty much when it comes to this boss, because it's moving around and it's hitting the walls and shaking and changing its like its level of the top, it is completely possible for you to be just knocked off for no reason.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've had that happen too. Alright, this is bad. I bonked, so hopefully I'll be able to get back up. No! Okay, I'm gonna have to take the walk of shame onto the last hit. That sucks. Yeah, so that was the instance where so the way I hit him, I hit Rango there, Rango's bubble. It launched me farther away than I wanted to be launched. Oh, that's bad. That's very bad. That's very bad. So now I'm trying to skip having to hit the bombs back at him, which I can do if I just climb up his leg when he's launching bombs. So yeah, again, that's like a 45-second time loss. That's a little upsetting, but there we go. That's Mecha Brutal.
I feel like this boss is the last real run kill you have in a any percent run.
Oh yeah, easily. This is like the big any percent scary part. We also have to refight this boss at the very end to finish the run, but thankfully in Darkside when we get to it during the refights, they all have moon physics. So getting on top of this guy in Darkside is the easiest thing, and you'll see that when we get there. And no, we're not done yet. In Bowser's Kingdom, there's one more moon we gotta grab right next to the Odyssey. I'm just gonna run against average splits, so I'm not like a minute behind.
Don't worry, they'll never know. Oh wait, we just told them.
But yeah, I'm a minute ahead. How did I want to make myself feel
you're 20 minutes ahead. You're good.
Yeah, 20 minutes ahead. World record pace, baby. Alright. So yeah, there's this moon back here behind the Odyssey. We could have grabbed it at the beginning, but it's just more common now because where the game puts us after getting all the moons, it's just easier to jump back there after the cutscene. There we go. That's one of the most of the extra, like that's one of the most extra moons that we get out of any first visit. Like we were only supposed to get 8 moons here, we got like 19. So. And yeah, that's Bowser's 1. So now we're going to be going to Moon Kingdom, which is going to be the final kingdom for the any percent portion. And then once the any percent portion is done, that's where the run really picks up, where we get moon to moon to moon. We get a moon every like 5 seconds. Alright. So, because post-game is crazy. You'll see what I mean. Alright, so Moon Kingdom. There are still a few moons we're going to be getting here, because it is Moon Kingdom. Makes sense. But there's not many that we can get that are in our way enough to make us worry about getting them. So while I grab these moons, and they're pretty obvious moons that we're going to grab, do you want to talk about how Moon Skip works?
Yeah, so pretty much what we're going to be doing is, initially what you're supposed to do for the Moon Kingdom is you're supposed to go into this small crater, which will take you to a lava area where you have to go and fight a new Madame Brudel again for the 2nd time. But we really don't want to do that because it's incredibly slow and nobody likes doing refights. I mean, really, who wants to do that? So we found a way to get past all of that, skip the fight, and it pretty much involves us going onto the Sphinx, which can be found on a certain part of the moon, and jumping off of it, and because of moon physics, we just have the ability to go really, really far. They're really, really high, so we've just found a way to skip all of that.
Also, I tried to do a vector triple jump there. It's a little bit faster than the long jump, but I died. That's 3, baby. Gotta get that money for charity.
It's going towards a good cause.
Oh, come on. Bunny. This bunny is like the worst thing of Moon Kingdom. I swear, moon physics and bunnies don't match.
Which is weird
But yeah,
because
so
like
basically, Moonskip is something I mentioned that I've been in the community for a while. Back in the day when Moonskip was considered to be hard, I made a consistent setup and visual cues for Moonskip, and that's what everybody knows me in the community for. So it's really cool to be known for something. Not anymore. It used to be on speedrun.com, the tutorial, but now everybody knows how to do it, and it's not hard. So, oh my god. Okay, I messed up this, so I'm gonna have to do a Cappy roll jump, which I haven't actually done yet. So there we go. I messed up the triple jump again. I've been doing that a while, actually. A lot today. Alright, nice. We're gonna grab these rockets, because again, the rockets just make you go fast.
supposed to give you some cool music.
True. Alright, so right here, this triple jump, it's gonna be vectored, so we can go around this corner and get a ground pound right on top of the Sphinx, and this is where Moonskip is.
So pretty much you're gonna ground pound, throw the hat, jump on the hat, jump onto this little area over here where you'll get a second jump, wall jump into another wall jump, and then do a flip-de-doo-dah over to here. And
Yeah,
that's Moonskip. That's the most...
That may look easy, but it's actually kind of precise, because you have to be at a very precise area on the wall for it to give you a second wall jump right away. So.
Yeah, so there are visual cues that you can see for it. It's mainly just like the different coloring of the rock there is where you'll that's like the best indication of whether or not you're on the right area, in the right area for the wall jump.
Yeah, the thing I look for actually, there's a little like carving of an L in that wall, and that's what I look at.
I've gotten so many like weird looks when I mentioned that. Like, yeah, you can see the L right there. Like, what? There's no L.
Yeah, that's why I pointed out in that video that I made. I think that video has like 5,000 views now. Again, it's back when nobody knew how to do that skip, and it was like considerably new. It's now considered one of the easiest skips in the game, and back in the day, as I quote from Monkey King Hero, who used to hold the 80% world record for the first few days, Moonskip is the hardest skip that will ever come to Super Mario Odyssey.
Ooh, that did not age well. So next we have the Bowser.
That's very not true.
So now we have the Bowser fight, and it's pretty much the same, except now you can see there's fire. And that fire looks so intimidating, but it is like, the actual area for getting hit for it is like, you could literally roll over it if you want.
Yeah, actually, and that's why I try to show off. I'm trying to be a little scary with it, because you actually reset your health once you beat this boss, so I can be a little scary with this. And again, this boss is basically like the one we did in Cloud Kingdom, just rinse and repeat and have a little bit more danger to it. We have to do a little bit more extra hits each time this time.
Because finally Bowser has learned to block.
There we go. See, look, I'm just like barely jumping over him. Alright, and this last hat will always be in the middle. So I just want to make sure I'm in the middle so I can not have to use Cappy for this last one here. There we go, got it. Alright, so someone donated saying if I get 2D skip, they'll donate. I'm going for it once. So no matter what, if I get it or if I don't get it, you're getting money, so be happy. Because if I die, I'm donating. If I get it, he's donating. There you go. I really hope I get this. I suck at this skip. I'm basically, just so you know, me doing this is basically me throwing away any chance of a PB. Just throwing that out there.
But if you succeed, you will look like a master.
We do for the charity. We do what we do for the money.
That sounded a little bit,
That's not greedy. Yeah.
questionable.
Well, no. Bad dual shot. Bad.
What? I'm just saying, doing stuff for money isn't the most important thing. The charity, however, is important.
No biscuits. Alright. So, this is 2D skip. There's also one called, And I failed. Okay, I win for it. I don't care. There's your $20 from me now. Whatever. I win for it. I was a little bit off there. Basically, you have to do a pretty precise jump. Like, you can't jump too late, or else you're going to not get a jump at all, and you can't jump too early, or you're going to do what I did and bump your head off the top. I'm debating on going for it again. No, because then you have to do it basically twice. Because you have to do the same jump again just to get up and over. So, yeah, I'm just going to do it normally now. You can't say I didn't try.
You gave it your best attempt.
Just like last year. We're harkening back. Alright, so this is how I do it. This is what I call 2D skip, and saves no time.
It's also known as just doing the normal way.
You can do another 2D skip here called XD skip. Shout out to Small Line at 1, but if I didn't get 2D skip, there's no way I'm going for XD skip. And that one saves like, it literally saves no time, so. Alright. And again, if you shake the controller when you're controlling Bowser, you actually throw a fireball. You can also do that by holding Y, but that's slower. Why would I do that?
Hey King, I got a question for you. Do you like anime?
You know? I think I'm part of one. I don't think I have a choice. Yeah, everybody get your sour pleases in chat. I don't know what you use nowadays, what young kids use.
You
But
hip
get your-
young kids with your new fancy emotes.
Your new fancy better Twitch.tv. Alright. But yeah, so this is the ending of the any % run. Reminder, timer will not stop here. Just warning, I've had marathon runs where they stop the timer just out of instinct here.
Yeah.
Alright.
Not gonna lie, I was mentally preparing myself not to yell time.
I've done that before. As a joke, I'm like, ah! Wow, 119 any %. No, it's gonna be like a 120 any %. Ugh. Oh, hit the wire. This has been a messy first half of the run. Ooh. Alright, well, there we go. So that's the any % portion done in 120.27.
It's a little bit more of that than any %.
Yeah.
To be fair, you have like, what, 40 or more moons, more than any %?
Yeah, so we have about 30 more than normal any %. Alright, so now we get to what I consider the fun part of the run, post-game. So now we get to the moons that don't have any story moons in between, nothing like that, no slow segments, it's just moon to moon to moon, it's quick. Like, let's put it this way, we need approximately 100 more moons, and we need to get it in approximately 1/3 of the time that we just spent getting the 150. So
This is also the point where I have no idea what's going on, so I will just smile and nod, which you can't see, but I will be doing it.
someone didn't study the route I sent him.
Hey, I looked at it!
I took a nice 5-second look at it.
Nonsense, I watched the entire thing, I swear.
In 2 times speed.
Well, actually, I figured out a way to make it 4 times, but don't worry about that.
Okay, even better. Alright, so people are going to ask me, why don't I just buy all the moons I need? This gives us the option now that we've beaten the game to buy either 1 moon from each shop, or you can buy 10 moons from each shop, but that's cheating, and they don't count as actual moons. So
Yeah, like, the first one counts as, like, a unique moon for the world, right?
yeah, it's basically, that's why all moons used to be called all unique moons, but then we realized that's a stupid name. Also, this bunny sucks, but thankfully I learned a new strat where I just whip my hat 20 times at him to catch him perfectly.
You heard it here, Mario also hates bunnies.
I knew you were gonna make a joke about that. I was waiting for it. Where's the PETA joke?
PETA? Nah. I prefer, I was gonna say garlic bread, but nah, that's alright.
Alright, so I like how Mushroom is laid out. We have to get a couple moons that are just so conveniently right next to each other, and they just happen to be really fast. Okay, so coming up is going to be something I call Goomba Jump, and in my opinion, second scariest jump in the game. So, just get ready for it. It's as hard as it looks. The scariest one is in Cap Kingdom Revisit.
Yep. So where do you place the New Donk City one.
What do you mean?
I mean, like, the long jump that you had to do to get to Mecha Wiggler.
Oh, that one I don't have to do, though. That's the thing. These ones I have to do.
Ah.
Like, mandatory jumps. Alright, I already messed it up once. This jump is actually hard. I expected to fail this at least once. You have to do that. Oh my god, I hate that jump. So, you're supposed to collect, like, a bunch of Goombas after you drain the moats and stuff like that, but why do that when you can just do a extremely precise, like, movement jump there? Oh, it sucks.
It's not very nice of Mario to catfish that female Goomba.
Yeah, that's how you don't date on the internet, boys. I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard catfishing go the other way, but it could. And yeah, so that's basically... We need to talk to this Toad, by the way, because he's going to tell us that Peach has gone vacationing in different kingdoms. That's why we do Mushroom first, and not just leave right away. And then we're going to enter the castle. We'll be here later, much later. But we're going to look at this painting. Ooh, that's a nice painting. I think we should remember that for approximately 5 more minutes.
Yeah. Admittedly, like, one of my favorite things about this game is just how much detail they put into certain levels. Like here, instead of the moons, which it has been for like the entirety of the rest of the game, they've changed them to stars to reminisce about 64.
Yeah. So now we, that's also, Mushroom Kingdom is definitely like a harkening back to Mario 64. Very good love letter to it. So now we're going to be going to all the revisits. This is what post-game is, and like I showed, post-game goes by a lot quicker because also we don't have to watch the Odyssey build up the moon counter or anything like that. It just pops up the moons, the counter, instead of having to watch the flag raise and stuff like that. Alright, so we're back in Cap. We were here approximately an hour and a half ago. And we didn't do anything here because when you first play Cap, you can't get any moons. But now that we can unlock the Moon Rock here, which unlocks after you beat Bowser, in each kingdom there's a Moon Rock, except for Cloud and Ruin. You can get more moons. It basically spawns a bunch of new moons and new sub areas that you can go to.
So I gotta ask, because like I said, I don't know much about the speedrun, but at any point do we do Luigi's Balloon World? In the
no,
speedrun?
So Luigi's Balloon World is banned from all categories. Nice death. Wow. What happened there? That's my depth perception right there. Ooh. Thankfully, it just won't be back here, so that lost like 20 seconds. I mentioned this on Discord and to a few people, but I just said that, hey, if I get a sub 205 in this run, I'll consider it a good one. Because that's like a good marathon run. I've been having some marathon luck recently, so... in this run alone. And hey, you remember like an hour ago when I said, remember this checkpoint, it'll be important? Here it is. We use it now. If you don't have that checkpoint...
foresight.
Yeah. if we don't have that checkpoint, that loses 3 minutes.
Ooh.
Because you have to climb up the tower again. Alright, so you remember when I said the second scariest jump was Goomba Jump? We're about to come to the scariest jump. There's a moon in the fog that I'm going to roll to, and you're supposed to use like you're supposed to use one of those flying Goombas, but instead, you don't have to. You can do this. This is also a very precise angling here. Oh, I hate that. I got it, by the way.
It's a cool roll, though. I always enjoy those ones where it's like you're on the top of a ledge and then you just roll off. Like another example of that is you can do it in New Donk City at the top of the skyscraper to get another moon that's farther down. And it just looks so stylish.
Yeah. Agreed. There's a lot of those moments where you just take really big jumps too. That's what we call trick jumping in this game. Some of them are not needed. We're going to do a trick jump at the end called the impossible jump on Dark Side. So...
but if it's
and again, that's
impossible,
pure swag. I don't have to, but I'm going to. Alright, so here's Peach. We need to talk to Peach in a few areas. So a lot of the reasons why we're going to specific areas and getting specific moons is because of Toadette. We're going to talk more about Toadette later, but basically she's kind of the achievement system of this game, where throughout the game, Toadette's watching your every move.
Creepy.
And yeah, creepy. This is like where stalkering like came to be. It was Odyssey that first popularized it. But
Oh
basically,
God, another bird.
no. That's why I said, dude, don't be afraid. There's gonna be multiple. There's gonna be another one in the next kingdom. But yeah, there's Toadette has a bunch of achievements. Some of them are you have to get this many Toadette or this many Peach Moons. You have to get this many Timer Moons, this many Scarecrow Moons, stuff like that. So we're getting all this on all these moons in a specific order so that we make sure we get all the Toadette's achievements. Also, that jump was really scary. That's another kind of Dram strat, except it's not really a Dram. It's just delaying our hat.
Worst part is like you have to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Also, I was just gonna say that's an easy place to die on.
Yeah, I was gonna say because like you have to like stand there for like a good 2 seconds for everything to spawn, and you're like, oh, this doesn't look right.
Yeah.
So you get time to look at your mistake and be like, okay, well, there it is.
Yeah. And if you die there, by the way, we spawn back on top of the tower, so that's really bad if you die there. Nice little cap throw I do there to make sure I'm in the moon's hitbox as it spawns. Again, it freezes Mario, so I can do that. And right here, that's the hint art that we looked at in Princess Peach's capsule. So, like I said, it is important.
Why is there a star in this moon?
True. What are you doing with my moon? All right. And if you just roll to the left of this bunny, you can immediately capture him. It's a really cool setup, and that's Capra Revisit. In my
Let's be
opinion,
real, it's really the first Cap Kingdom.
Yeah, true. It's honestly the coolest revisit though. It's really cool with the moons that we get. I love the order we get those in. All right, I have to remember Cascade, Sand, Lake. I have to remember which one I'm going to and where specifically on the map it is because it's in Japanese and I'm not Japan. Okay. So now we go to Lake Kingdom Remaster. Ooh. Yeah, they remastered it in this amount of time. Wow.
Welcome to Lake Kingdom 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Starting off with a pretty precise triple jump to get to the block without having to use the flower right there. That's, again, post-game probably has the scariest stuff in it, which is saying a lot. Like, the bosses in the any % part of the run, yeah, they're scary, but they're not, like, anything run-ending. If you miss any of these jumps, that's going to lose you close to 30 or 20 seconds each one. And that's at the very end of a run. Oh, no. No, Bird! Bird! No! No! He heard about his friends getting destroyed. No! Alright, I'm just going to wait here. How's it going? That's very upsetting. I didn't want that to happen. I have a usual setup where I just long jump on top of that bird and I capture him, but fortunately that wasn't the case. Alright, so right here we're going to look at this painting, or this picture. And again, Lake is a pretty easy one to figure out the route for. Once you run it once, it's not hard. Alright. And yeah, just making sure we are as close to the moon as we can be while throwing our hats as far as we can. So just to say. And now, back before we started doing post-game in Darkside, we used to do just extended any %, like I said, where we go to all the any % kingdoms, but just get a bunch more moons than we normally would. Before we found out going back and doing post-game after was faster. So we actually used to do the Captain Toad area here, but it's not faster, apparently. It's actually much slower. So we skip those moons.
Part of me wishes that there was more, like, you had to collect more moons in this area at the start, like in any percent, because the area is just absolutely gorgeous, and I feel like, oh, wait, Free Willy. Well, not exactly Free Willy, but you
Free
get
Willy.
the idea.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I'm pretty sure that wasn't exactly how Free Willy happened. I doubt that he had to, like, shuffle a little bit to get back into the water.
He just has to flop out of the water. Yeah, I agree. This kingdom is beautiful. This one and Seaside are very short compared to other kingdoms, which is upsetting.
Though admittedly, water mechanics do kind of make me relieved I don't have to do much of it.
Yeah, true. I agree with that. Alright, so again, it's a pretty short kingdom revisit, but it's moons that are easy to get and faster than like any moons in the any percent portion we could have grabbed, so we just come back here a second time. And do some backflip dives here. Doing those inputs, by the way, is really hard, alternating between ground pound jumping and diving. It's a lot on your hand. And here's Peach. Again, this is why Japanese text saves a lot of time. Each time we talk to Peach, in Japanese text, her text box has one less text box than in English. So, just add that up over the course of the run, plus all the stuff from any percent. It saves about 40 seconds for Japanese and Dark Side. In Darker, I think it saves over a minute and a half.
Also, Peach be styling. Everywhere you go, she has a different outfit.
Also, oh my dog started barking.
Pork.
I have to make sure I go to the right place again. There we go. Going to Cascade. Okay, so Cascade Revisit and then Bowser's 2 Revisit are actually connected in a very interesting way. In the way that we're actually going to be using a painting. Now, we haven't really talked about the paintings much. They haven't come into play. But what's going to be happening is I'm going to be warping straight from Bowser's to... from Cascade to Bowser's without using the Odyssey. Because the paintings just take us right there. And we use the paintings more in Darker Side than we do in Dark Side. So we don't have to go back to the Odyssey each time. But because we're using specific kingdoms... in Dark Side, we only use one painting. Alright. So we're just getting some moons on the way to hitting the moon rock. Alright. That's pretty difficult to triple jump Scarecrow. And now, while we don't have our cap, we're going to go over to these floating islands here and get this moon without Cappy. I have to do a little camera change there so I know where I'm going.
Yeah. Like, a lot of the times when it comes to these kinds of jumps, it can be terrifying if you do not have the camera.
Oh,
like,
yeah, definitely.
It's one of the reasons that the Skyscraper one is just so terrifying for me.
Yeah, that Skyscraper one, so I didn't mention it when I did it, but the one in Metro Kingdom where I did that really big long jump, what happened was the camera changes halfway through that jump. So you have to deal with the camera changing and keeping your positioning with the cap throw. Alright, there we go. I'm half looking at my route. I do have a route written down for this run. One of the common questions I get for running either this or Darker Side is, how do you memorize the moon locations? There's 250 of them. I don't. I literally have a route written down. That's not good. That's actually really bad. Okay, I need to go back up there.
I mean, ultimately, when it comes to these kinds of games, if you play them long enough, you just start to remember the route fairly consistently. Like, I remember when I was first starting out any percent for this one, I had literally a split for every moon, and then by, like, say the fourth time I ran, I was like, okay, I kind of understand where all the moons are.
Yeah, and
So
it's the same thing for Dark Side. Like Dark Side, I used to use my route a lot, but now I hardly look at it. I just look at it to make sure I'm going to the right area generally. Again, it's just memory. Alright, so this jump right here is a little scary because of that. How did that not hit the moon? That's a little worrying. Okay. I guess I was behind it there. That was a little interesting. This moon is also this one across the cloud platforms is also going to be scary. The one we're coming up to here. Because you have to do long jumps and make the platform so that you're long jumping onto something. You don't die.
Yeah, that looks terrifying, but for Mario, who lacks any kind of empathy or normal emotions, it's probably not that scary.
Mario's just a very, like, he's seen some stuff in his days.
He's so jaded at this point.
Yeah. So we're doing this in a very specific way so that I can hit all these notes and then be in a perfect position to go get the secret moon in the 2D area. And this is the intended way that the game wants you to take to go to Madame Brutal boss fight, but because we did Dino Skip, these are just moons that we can get now.
Intended? Ha! Nothing. We're speedrunners. We don't do like what the game intends us to do.
Exactly. Alright, now this jump is stupid. This is not this jump, but this aiming is really hard. Okay, first try. So that rock, that chomp, launch is as hard as it seems. That's a very like small frame that you have to launch towards, and yeah, even if you're like a pixel off, you're gonna miss it. So thankfully I got it first try. That's also like a very big time loss. Each time you miss that, it loses 10 seconds, and you can move. I think the most I missed it was 10 times. Alright, so right here we're going to grab that moon off the edge and dive back down because we're going to get some moons at the front before we head on to Bowser's. Here's the hint art that we're going to get the hint art first that we looked at back in Lake Kingdom. And at this point, the game's just kind of giving us moons. Like, it literally just like has them lying out for us in a lot of places.
I mean, there's something kind of just, like, generally pleasing about hearing, like, within, like, a minute of gameplay, getting, like, 4 moon acquisition sounds.
Yeah, and if you want to see, like, more of this kind of stuff, I would really suggest checking out the darker side kind of speedrun, because it does this, but for, like, 3 hours of the run. Like, it's crazy. It's literally just moon after the first hour. Which is just the any % portion. Alright, so there we go. We get this scarecrow, and while our hat is gone, we can go over here and get this moon underwater. And then that'll be it for our revisit of Cascade. And like I said, now we're going to go to the painting. That'll take us to Bowser's. So this all flows together really smooth. And I'm not going to know if I missed a moon or not until I deliver all my moons after this kingdom. So, for all I know, I could be missing like 10. But I'm not, so. And because we use a painting, we get a really free moon right here just by popping out.
And these paintings don't show up until after you've beaten the game, correct?
Yeah. So we can actually get to some of the painting areas before then, but they don't do anything. You can't, like, take any... The only ones that you can take are the ones that go to, the ones that go to Mushroom Kingdom, I think. Alright, so this is Bowser's Kingdom, and Bowser's Kingdom, I mentioned this earlier when we were getting all the checkpoints, but this has a lot of warping around. That's why we grabbed a bunch of warp points. We're going to be warping, I think, 4 times in this kingdom. And you may be thinking, is that faster? Yeah, it's still faster than any other moons we could be grabbing.
More so because of the load times that they've updated, right?
That too, yeah. The load times didn't really change this. This is still the same route that we've been using. Actually, no, I think Bowser's Kingdom did change. Never mind, I think you're right about that. Alright, so this jump right here is a little nerve-wracking. Just doing a triple jump here, and being able to get a wall jump up here. Skipping how you would get here normally. Over this little corner. Alright. And again, all these moons like really flow together really well.
Now you're defacing his property? What's wrong with you, Mario?
Alright, so right here, there's a bunny on the roof. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a shake, a spin input, so I can spin my hat around me. And it'll hit the bunny in a specific way. And we have to hit the bunny on the right in order for it to work. So, that's what we call the bunny quick catch. Alright, so coming up is, in my opinion, the hardest moon in Bowser's, because it's one of those moons where you have to feel with your controller, like your controller's shaking, and you have to kind of guess where it is. But I got it first try. If you know where it is, you can just ground pound it, and it's very hard to know. It has to be a very specific spot, so I'm glad I got that. I have a general idea where it is. It's next to the birds that we scared away. Yes, I'm sorry. But, it's actually really hard to know when you're in your first few runs where it is.
You can't see me, but I'm shaking my head about the birds.
I know you are. I know. I'm a bad person. Alright, so yes, now we're using these statues more, and yes, I even have to shake with the statues, because even they move faster when I shake. Same with the... Oh, that was weird. I need them on this button. Even the Paragoombas, which we saw earlier, actually fly faster if we shake our controller. So if you want to become buff, like you can just skip like Arm Day and play this game. There we go. This is a hard moon to get. Usually I do a triple jump, but I missed it, so I had to use a little bit of a backup strat there. And a nice little backflip here to get up here instead of having to use the platforms, because you can't. Oh, whoops. Gotta work to the shop. And we didn't talk about this, but I really like how Bowser's Kingdom looks in this game, because it's really based off of ancient China, with how their buildings are made and stuff like that. It's a really cool nod to Japan culture. Even Peach's outfit there. So
I like the little like boo masks that she has in her hair.
I totally didn't. I don't ever like look at that, but yeah.
See, I told you I can give you knowledge about like details of the game. It will never help you in a speed run, but at least it's nice things to see.
All right, and again, this is gonna be the last time we scare away a bird. I'm sorry. We have to do it.
All right, if it's your last time.
I think it is. I think it's the last time.
It's fun.
All right, so we're gonna get this. We're gonna get this one on the coin zip line. And just a long jump over here to this zip line. And again, it's just backtracking now. It's better than warping over here. Alright, so there's one strat that I'm going to go for here. So this bird is going to fly away, but if I get him without him flying away... Oh, dang it, I missed him. There he goes. There it is. So, if you go into first person after missing the bird like that, like I did, basically, if you're in first person and you watch the bird disappear, he will spawn inside of you if you're in the right position, and you can just catch him immediately afterwards. So that's what I did. I did a little trick there, because I missed him, and I knew I was going to have to do that. And there we go, 220. We need 30 more moons, so now we're going to head back to our last revisit. Well, technically second last, other than Mushroom Kingdom. We're going to be heading back to Lost Kingdom. And Lost is an interesting revisit. It's definitely one of the harder revisits. There's a lot of tough jumps I have to do here. But it's also the coolest, because at one point we have like 3 moons like popping up at the same time that we can just grab at any point. Alright. So I'm going to warp up to this checkpoint that I hit very early on. Alright. Gotta get the shop and Peach, who's right over here.
I think this is the only time that Peach reuses the clothing that she had for somewhere else, because I think it's the exact same outfit as the Dino Kingdom.
Actually, it's that happens 3 times, I think.
What?
Seaside has the same one as Lake, and Snow has the same one as Cap Kingdom.
Peach, you gotta step up with these outfits.
God, you gotta... If you want to work in the fashion industry...
I mean, Mario has like hundreds of them.
Yeah, you know it's bad when Mario is more fashionista than Peach. Alright. So now we get to the fun parts. This is where we're going to get a bunch of the moons that we skipped from the 80% route. Stuff like the bomb moon, this moon here that we get off the side, the one inside the pillar, all that good stuff. But yeah, I really like the routing in this category in general. I think it's like one of the most appealing parts of this, and especially with like the new route that I had to learn for this category, like to get this run in. I got this run in the day I started running with the new route. So I actually submitted this category with a completely different route than I was using. So that I'm using right now. So pretty interesting. Oh, okay, so I had a death there. That's a really painful death. Okay.
Yeah, that is a very that's a very sketchy jump.
Yeah, so we're trying to get into the Captain Toad area without having to use a wiggler. It's very, like you said, it's very sketchy. And you have to throw your cap and slide down the wall, and this wall is very finicky. There we go.
Any uneven wall that you have to go on will most likely cause you to miss the jump.
Yeah. Like this wall in general is just like probably the scariest wall. That hole, it has a very small hitbox, and I died again. Wow, I'm just great at video games. God. All right. Hi, I'm KingjO. I'm playing a game bad. That's what I do for a living sometimes.
So that's $10 extra?
Yep, that's 30 in total. Because I did 20 before. That's very upsetting, man. God, I just don't like having mess-ups like this because, especially when it's late in a run, the rest, like, I think the beginning half was way better than the post-game half, surprisingly. It's usually the other way around for me, so. Interesting. We should be on pace to beat the goal I had for myself, which was get sub 205. Alright, so this is the hint art here that we got in Snow Kingdom. Alright. Please? Alright, there we go. And we were grabbing these moon shards throughout the entire time we were in Lost Kingdom, so we can get this moon right here. Alright, come on. Alright, that jump right there around the pillar is super difficult. It doesn't look that hard, but like, you can easily hit your head there. Alright, now we're going to use this Wiggler, and Tropical Wigglers may be my least favorite capture in the run. I'm just saying that right now.
Oh, I completely agree. They are not fun.
Oh, I think I'm going to miss this. Oh, I got it! I'm a gamer! Okay, let's go! Those notes are really hard to get with the Wiggler. You can get them without the Wiggler too. It saves like a second, but it's also very sketchy. Plus, I grabbed the Wiggler for this. This bunny is stupid, but I can just catch him by stretching my body. Let's stretch our legs, as the Wii Fit trainer would say. Alright. And this is what I mean. There's like 2 moons that we unlock, and we don't grab them right away. We can just grab them whenever we want. It's really cool.
We care not for those moons. We're coming for more fancy moons.
Well, we're gonna get them eventually. Oh, I hit it. Wow, that did not seem like I was gonna hit that. I was ready to shoot another bomb. That looked like it was off. How did that hit?
The explosion range for those guys are really big.
I think what happened was he hit the Wiggler, and that blew the bomb, the rock up? I don't know. I have to look back at that. That's interesting. Might send that into Glad Jonas as a save. Oh, come on. Jump around. Jump around.
Jump, jump, jump.
Alright, there we go. Don't you dare die again. Mario, we're not doing so hot on this kingdom. I would like it if we could just get out of here. I don't know. Something's up with him today. He wasn't listening before. He's not listening now. We're going through a tough time. He wants the kids. I want the PBs. We just have different needs. Right. And that is the final revisit, except for Mushroom. now we're gonna go back to Mushroom because I'm just gonna read out my my route really quick so you guys can hear what we have to do. We have to get the Tanuki tail on the tree. We have to look up at the ceiling, and then we have to spawn 13 moons out of Toadette's butt. Is what I literally wrote down. So. People might get mad at me for saying that. I'm just reading what I wrote down. Okay. So this is what I mean by Toadette achievements, and the reason why we do all these Toadette achievements is because she gives us like 12 moons.
You guys, you were mad when I was saying some. You were questioning my commentary on that part earlier, but I got nothing for that.
Alright, so yeah, now we're back to Mushroom Kingdom, and this is a much shorter visit to Mushroom Kingdom the first time. You don't have to do Goomba Jump or anything like that, but we do have to use motion controls. There we go, to spawn that moon. So, right here, I'm going to be talking to Toadette. This is where I need to explain something. You're going to see that each time I talk to Toadette, she's going to give me a moon, or a star, if you prefer that. We need 12 of these from her, and then the other one is at the bottom of the stairs. But the other thing I need to mention is I go into first person to talk to her because it skips the animation of me, like, looking towards her. And it saves half a second each time. So each time we're doing this, we're saving half a second if we do it perfectly each time. So overall, it's not this much. It doesn't save too much in this run, but it saves approximately like a minute in Darker Side. Just doing this alone. Oh, whoops. There we go. That's a funny looking moon. Hey, look, there are moons that are shaped like stars. There's nothing wrong with that, guys. Are you saying there's something wrong with that? Are you assuming the moon's gender? Is that what you're doing? Shame on you. Alright. So how's chat? How are you guys doing in chat? I have nothing to talk about. I'm just getting a bunch of moons for like a minute. So yeah.
I mean, did Toadette really do anything in this game to allow her to have this many moons? It doesn't make sense. Like, she should not have this many moons collected. I mean, Captain Toad.
I think in total she has like 60 moons, by the way, so...
Yeah, freaking Captain Toad, who goes out in adventures and does stuff, has like, what, 9 moons?
She existed, yes, that's all she did. But that's not enough to warrant her having like 13 moons in the span of 2 hours. Alright, anyhow, that's all the moons we need. Guys, we have hit the 250 mark. It is time for the name of the category. We are going to Dark Side. So while I said I like this category, I kind of agree with the majority that it is one of the least favorite categories just because of the fact that it ends with the worst way to end a run, which is a 6-minute boss rush. So, well, 7-minute actually, but we're going to be fighting every single brutal we fought, and they're going to be with moon physics this time. And we're also going to have to refight Mecha Brutal, so it's going to be interesting.
I still feel bad for Speebert. He's still got nothing other than vomit.
Yeah, Speebert is probably the easiest still, next to Harriet. This is what I'm going to call the impossible jump. This saves 1 second. It's all swag. Enjoy. Whee! Also, this entire jump is filled with death planes that I'm trying to avoid, so... Again, this saves 1 second.
If it's impossible, how are you able to do it?
Because I'm a speedrunner.
Oh.
Oh. So I'm gonna grab this for Sadie's sake. Sometimes if I'm on a really good pace, I would skip this heart container, I like to call it. It gives me 6 health instead of 3. But because I don't want to die in this run and lose 5 minutes, I'm going to do this. Alright, so this is Topper, and I mentioned this earlier. Topper is definitely the hardest part of the refights. I'm gonna say that right now, wholeheartedly. Topper is the hardest, and because of the fact that I don't really have any strats for him, I just try to do a strat, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Because what you want to do is you want to land on him like that, but I landed on the wrong hat. But for the most part, I just do this part, and it's very slow. It's so dumb. This is like seriously the dumbest refight.
Like, it looks like, like when it succeeds, it looks easy. When you're trying it, it is so difficult.
Yeah, especially because you might not notice this when watching it because I'm making it seem seamless, but we do have moon gravity on all of these refights. So all of these refights are done with gravity that I'm not used to for the entirety of the run. So it changes everything. It changes how I have to go throughout the strats. It changes the strats I do. I can't do the strats I did for Topper the first 2 times. So yeah, it's definitely the hardest part of the one. I kind of just of the dark side part of the run. I usually just wing it. So hopefully the winging it worked there. All right, so now we get to Harriet. Harriet is literally the same as always. Just throw her balls back at her, and she doesn't really change. This is like the same thing with Spirit. Spirit is also the case where he doesn't really change much. The only thing that changes is that you're a little bit floatier, so you have to like jump a little bit later than you normally would.
Even from like the first fights to the second fight, which we didn't do in Desert Kingdom, the only difference there is that she has 2 bombs in the second fight rather than 1 bomb.
Yeah, that's true. We didn't even talk about the difference because, like, again, we didn't see her the first time, so. And then we didn't see Rango's second fight because it's in Snow Kingdom and we skipped having to do it.
But that one is barely a bit harder, but it is technically harder because you're on ice.
Yeah, it's only harder because of ice mechanics. And we even skipped that in World Peace. So, like...
Oh, man.
You're not even missing that. Like... So, I've been mentioning World Peace. I've also started doing World Peace runs at marathons as well. World Peace is where you are allowed to clip out of bounds, and you just have to finish and bring peace to each of the worlds, which means get every multi-moon. Alright, so that's
pretty much just the story mode.
Yeah, exactly. It's basically, it's more extended any percent than this is. So. Alright, so this is Spirit, and like I said, Spirit is the least changed. We just have to jump a little bit later than we normally would to stop him from rolling, and he's literally the exact same. And then the really cool one is Rango. Rango gets changed the most. Actually, I think Topper gets changed the most because his strats are literally impossible. You have to do completely different strats for him. But Rango has a really cool strat where we barely touch the ground when we fight him, and you'll see what I mean if I pull it off correctly.
Poor Spirit.
Yeah, poor Spirit. He's like...
He's trying his best, but, I mean, that isn't saying much.
Alright, and just so Timer knows, the person who's doing Timer knows when to stop, it's when I grab the multi-moon after killing Mecha Brutal on the moon. So, it'll be in a few minutes. Alright, so this is Rango. And this is what I mean by we don't really touch the ground much. Oh, dang it, I messed it up. I got the first one. It still looks cool. I still got the strat. I got the backup. And there we go. Pick on Spirit. I did. He's one of the only ones that we beat 3 times in this run. Him and Topper. Alright, so now, with all of the bunnies beaten, it's time to do our final test of strength. Because, you know, you guys know, you're going to be watching Breath of the Wild after this. I'm getting you guys prepared. We're doing, in my opinion, this is a really dumb way to end off this run because it's so joke easy. Compared to the first fight of this is Mecha Brutal. But with moon physics, Mecha Brutal's a joke. Because just look at this. We're going to do a triple jump here. And get right on top of him. Easy as pie. And now, you could fall off like I did for regular Mecha Brutal, but it's kind of impossible because you have moon physics.
This fight offends me as an any percent runner because of how difficult it is in the regular version.
Exactly. So like, ending this off is literally just a joke. If you fall off during this Mecha Brutal, I don't think I want to talk to you as a runner.
That's not nice.
I'm kidding. We're a very accepting community. This is my time to say, If you guys want to run Odyssey, we have a Discord for a separate chat for every single category. Please join it. It's so easy to get into and run if you want to do any percent. If you want to run Dark Side, I will help you out. I'll send you my route that literally says dumb names for each moon.
And Toadette Moon.
Yeah, exactly. It's the easiest game to run. It's very open. We're a very accepting community. And if you want to watch me more, this is my time to promote myself. And we beat the boss, by the way. I'm gonna promote myself really quick. I don't stream on Twitch. I stream on YouTube at KingjO444. So if you want to watch me do runs, go there, not my Twitch. Thank you. Anyhow, time is coming up in like approximately 20 seconds. This will be a 2:03. Pretty good for a marathon. I said I wanted. I think I'll get a 2:03. I don't know. This cutscene takes forever. And time. That's a 2:03:55 on my end. So yeah, there we go. Well, yeah, it's gonna be different on you guys' side because I'm ahead. So. Yeah.
Well, we just hit the time, so.
Well, yeah, there we go. So, yeah, that was Super Mario Odyssey. I want to thank Calithon Fire Relief, for accepting me into this. I'm really happy to show this off, especially now that there's been such a huge route change to this game. Throughout this past year. It's completely different from what I've shown off in the past at different marathons, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you, Vulshock, for sticking with me, being the PETA protective service of this run, and any last thing to mention before we head out?
No, just happy to be here. Happy to be the bird police in this speed run.
All right, so yeah, that's been Dark Side, guys. Thanks for having me, and enjoy Breath of the Wild.